What if I told you the carpet in your lounge costs thousands of liters of water to make, and none of it is used anywhere near here? Most of us never think about it. Carpet looks tired, you rip it up. You buy a new one every 7 to 10 years on average. I'm Diedrich from True Clean. I've been cleaning carpets for 17 years. Stick with me because this changed how I look at floors. Let's start with what a carpet actually is, because almost everyone gets this wrong. Carpet isn't fiber. Over 90% of carpet made today is plastic, nylon, polypropylene, polyester, spun from oil, backed with more plastic held together with synthetic latex. Your average lounge carpet has more in common with a 2-liter Coke bottle than with a cotton sheet. Now, making that plastic fiber isn't the thirsty part. The water comes in afterwards. So let me take you through it stage by stage. Stage 1, dyeing. This is the big one. Textile dyeing is one of the most water-intensive industrial processes on the planet. The industry is regularly named among the largest industrial polluters of fresh water worldwide. Here's why it uses so much water. Dye doesn't fix perfectly to fiber. A big share of it washes straight off. So you've got the dye bath itself, then rinse, then rinse, then rinse again until the water finally runs clear. Every one of those rinses is a fresh tank. The estimates for textile dyeing and finishing generally sit somewhere in the region of 100 to 200 liters of water for every kilogram of finished material. Now hold that number, because here's where it gets interesting. Carpet is heavy. A jersey weighs half a kilo. A carpet for an average lounge, say 4 meters by 5 meters, weighs somewhere between 30 and 50 kilograms. So at 150 liters a kilo, a single lounge carpet works out to somewhere in the range of 5,000 liters of water. That's roughly 30 full baths for one room. Do your whole house, lounge, passage, 3 bedrooms, and you're plausibly into the 20 to 30,000 liter range. That's a small backyard swimming pool to carpet one house once. Now, everything I've said so far about wall-to-wall carpet, which is almost all synthetic, rugs are a different animal, and this is where it gets properly extreme. Cotton is one of the thirstiest crops on earth. The commonly cited figure is somewhere around 10,000 liters of water per kilogram of cotton, and that's before you've dyed a thing. That number covers irrigation, growing, and processing the fiber. That figure varies wildly, and it's worth saying why. Cotton grown under irrigation in a dry country can use several times what rain-fed cotton uses somewhere else. The 10,000 liter figure is a global average, and averages hide a lot, but even the low end is thousands of liters a kilo. So take a cotton flat weave rug, a durry, a woven mat, the kind of thing people put down over tiles. Say it weighs 8 kilos. At the average figure, you're looking at something in the region of 80,000 liters of water in that one rug. Then you still have to dye it. The Aral Sea is the most famous example. It used to be one of the largest lakes in the world. The rivers feeding it were diverted for cotton irrigation, and it lost the overwhelming majority of its water. There are photographs of fishing boats sitting on dry sand, kilometers from any shoreline, and that's the scale cotton irrigation operates at. Wool is a different equation. The sheep drink, the pasture needs rain, and then raw wool has to be scoured, washed, essentially to strip out the lanolin and the dirt, which takes a lot of hot water. Estimates for wool sit lower than cotton, but still well up there, and a wool rug is dense and heavy. So the irony is this: the natural fiber rug you bought partly because it felt like the more responsible choice probably carries a bigger water footprint per kilo than the synthetic carpet in the next room. Not because natural is bad, because growing things take water and extruding plastic doesn't. The upside is that cotton and wool rugs cleaned properly last decades, which makes the maintenance argument even stronger for them than for carpet. Back to the manufacturing, because dyeing isn't the end of it. There's the backing, the latex adhesive, anti-stain and anti-static treatments, which get applied wet and then dried off. Rinsing the equipment down between production runs, because you can't put a beige batch through a machine that just ran navy. Then the water you don't see at all. The electricity to run the mill and heat all the water, petroleum extraction and refining for the fiber itself, shipping it halfway around the world. I want to be straight with you about all these figures. The exact number depends enormously on the mill, the country, the fiber, and how modern the plant is. A well-run European mill recycling its water and an old plant somewhere with cheap water might differ by a factor of 5. Anyone who gives you one precise number is guessing, me included, but the shape of it holds. Thousands of liters per room, tens of thousands per house, and for a natural fiber rug, potentially far more than that. And here's the part I keep coming back to. Because that water gets used in a factory on the other side of the world, it's completely invisible to us. We're a water scarce country. We've all lived through restrictions, watched dam levels, taken 2-minute showers, but the water costs of the things we buy never show up in the municipal bill. You can be scrupulous about your own usage and still put 20,000 liters into the ground by recarpeting the house. Then there's the disposal side, which is even worse. Old carpet doesn't get recycled. Recycling rates for carpet sit in the single digits to low teens, even in countries with dedicated take-back programs. And South Africa doesn't really have one. The reason is that carpet is a composite, one plastic on the face, another in the backing, latex gluing the two together, sometimes a chemical treatment on top. To recycle it, you'd have to separate all of that, and there's no money in doing so it doesn't get separated, it gets buried. And polypropylene in a landfill doesn't rot, it fragments slowly over centuries into progressively smaller pieces of plastic. So every carpet replacement is thousands of liters of water spent at one end and 40 kilos of plastic buried at the other. The useful part, which brings me to the thing I actually wanted to tell you. Most carpets get replaced years before they need to be. When people say a carpet is worn out, what they usually mean is it looks worn out, flat, grey down the traffic lanes, smell faintly of dog no matter what.
This traffic lane carpet looks worn and dull, and it faintly smells of dog no matter what's sprayed on it. The real cause is the grit and soil that's embedded deep in the fibers.
Sand and dirt work together all the way down to the pile, and every footstep grinds those particles against the fiber like sandpaper. The fiber gets scratched, stops reflecting light evenly, and goes dull. So-called worn carpet is usually just scratched carpet, full of sand. You can test this yourself. Take a butter knife, push it right into the pile in a high traffic area, and drag it along the base. What comes up is sand. On a carpet that hasn't been properly cleaned in years, there can be a kilo or more of grit sitting in the base of an average lounge carpet. That's what's killing it, not the walking, the sandpaper. So here's what actually extends a carpet's life. Vacuum slowly. This is the one nobody does. Fast passes lift surface dust and leave the grit at the base where it does the damage. Slow overlapping passes in 2 directions actually pull it out. 3 or 4 minutes a room instead of 40 seconds. Get a decent doormat and use it. Most of the grit in your house walks in through the front door. A good coarse mat catches a surprising amount of dirt. Blot spills, don't rub. Rubbing drives the spill down into the base and distorts the fiber permanently. Blot with a clean white cloth, working from the outside in. Get a proper deep clean every 12 to 18 months. More if you've got pets, kids, and you're near the beach. Hot water extraction flushes out abrasive grit out of the base of the pile before it does permanent damage. The point isn't cosmetic, the point is removing the sandpaper. Do those 4 things and a carpet that would have lasted you, let's say 7 to 8 years, will easily last you 15. Same carpet, twice the life. Half the water, half the plastic, half the money. So that's the thing worth sitting with. The water cost of what we buy is real. It's large and it's completely hidden from us. And in the case of carpet, the single biggest thing you can do about it isn't buying something greener. It's just keeping what you've already got for twice as long. If your carpets are looking tired and you were about to replace them, get someone to look at them properly first. That's what we do at True Clean, Gqeberha. Details are in the description if you want them.